Good evening. It's a grueling campaign for the presidency that we hope to win on the 16th of next month. And we've been running morning, noon and night. But I thought I'll take a few minutes off to be here to encourage all of you who's graduating either with a diploma or a high diploma or a bachelor's or a master's degree. Ladies and gentlemen at the head table, visiting dignitaries from University and OTHM UK, and of course from Metropolitan College. I have sat like you and listened to folks like me trying to encourage you after getting various degrees. The last degree I got was many years ago. I'm trying to think. This is 2019, so that is 26 years ago when I got my PhD in economics. And I feel quite old now. But I was very excited when I received that degree and previously to that, other degrees. So first of all, congratulations to all you young and not so young men and women. It is a lot of hard work to actually complete a program. It takes dedication, it takes discipline, and it takes hard work. No one gets a degree just because you show up. You get a degree if you are competent when you leave this hall with whatever it is that you spent time learning. While I was here, I had the great privilege to offer you documentary proof of obtaining these diplomas and degrees, if I recall, for English literature, English education, psychology, and early childhood education. Some were postgraduate type degrees and others were graduate or less thereof. In this country, people believe that getting a degree is to get yourself the right to get on the street and demand for a government job. Rakya Diyau is the general slogan. But in a competitive world, getting a degree by itself really is not a sufficient condition to obtain a decent job. Most likely, it is a necessary condition. But a necessary condition must be supplemented by a sufficient condition for you to be able to get to where you want. Now I'm going to take 5 minutes perhaps, because I have to leave soon, to give you a sense of what we as a nation is facing and what you and all of us will have to do to make sure that we get ahead. We are in a competitive world. And in that competitive world, if we relent, others get ahead. It is like getting a degree. Or if you don't work hard, if you are not dedicated, if you don't study hard, you don't get a degree. Nations' achievements are also like that. if you don't study hard, meaning as a nation, if you are not skilled, if you are not dedicated, meaning if you're just lazy and as a nation expect the government to give you everything. Earlier I said, if you're not disciplined or committed towards achieving the objective, then that means as a nation that we are not focused as a nation. So just like you, a country also has to be focused, disciplined, dedicated, hardworking to get ahead. Now in that competition, look at where we are. We used to be what's called a less developed or a developing or a third world country at one time. Today, the World Bank classifies us as a upper middle income country, no longer a lower middle income country, which means there are many countries below our rank. Most countries in our region are below our rank. How did we become a upper middle income country? It's not a difficult calculation to make. You look at the GDP of this country divided by the number of people who live on this island and come up with a number. And that number is about 4,000 US dollars, which means that we have surpassed the 3,900 some dollars per annum to be considered a upper middle income country. Before we become a developed country or a high income country, we got to get to about 12,000 US dollars. So that means we got to increase this by 3 times. However, not necessarily can you compare and contrast countries by that nominal value. I give you an example. And I'm getting hit today on social media. Perhaps you have got those memes about the high heels and all that. That is because people are unable to comprehend the reality of our nation's progress. Suppose I go to let's say OTHM UK. I don't know how much it costs to get my hair cut at a barber in London. Guess. 10 pounds? 20 pounds? 20 pounds. 20 pounds multiplied by 200, 4,000. Let's say 5,000 bucks. It cost me 5,000 Sri Lankan rupees to get my haircut. I go to La Passion at Timirgasaya. The guy charges me 500 bucks. What does he do? He cuts my hair. If I go to the UK to get my hair cut, it costs me 5,000. If I go to Timirgasaya to get my hair cut, it costs me 500. But it's the same service. So what are called non-tradables differ in the price that you pay to receive the same service. And that difference is then looked at in terms of trying to compare the well-being or the development level or the wealth of nations. And that is called per capita purchasing power parity adjusted per capita income. Now if you look at the per purchasing power parity adjusted per capita income of Sri Lanka across the island, it's about 12,000 US dollars. It's about 12,000 US dollars. In Colombo, it is far higher than that. So if you really are trying to understand this nation, or at least the western province of Colombo, let's say, you're looking at a city with a per capita income of about 20,000 US dollars at a per capita purchasing power adjusted rate. If you walk out of this hall, drive down Gaul Road, how do you think all these have come up, all these buildings and all the malls and the kind of expenditure that our people are used to? Most people will, if you think, come to the realization, we are no longer where we were. We have come a long way. What does that mean in terms of what we need to earn to live that life? If I go to a restaurant and take my wife, it'll probably cost me 10,000 rupees. Or maybe slightly less. If you buy a bottle of wine, it'll be another 8,000 bucks. Now, what it means is, if you want to have a decent life, good life in this country, you got to be able to earn that money. Then the question is, what kind of job do I have to do to earn that kind of money? Now this is where we have run into a small problem in this country. Because we are no longer willing to work at the low wages we used to, because our cost of living is high. We have come to become a very aspirational society. We want to get ahead. We want to be like Malaysia, Singapore, all these other countries. Yet, we are unable to, as a country, to produce the type of goods and services that is going to help us earn the kind of money that we require to live that life. I think I'm clear. I think all of you agree. Do you? You do. And that is what we in economics essentially call a middle income trap. Now we have two choices. Can we say, look, I want to compete with Bangladesh and Vietnam and Myanmar? Or I want to compete with Thailand and Ireland and say Cyprus. What is our choice? Are we willing to come down and take lower wages and get those types of jobs? No. We have to go up and be able to earn those kinds of salaries. So, we must think, if we need to get there, to earn the kind of wage we need to earn, to live a comfortable life in this upper middle income nation of ours, we can no longer rely on producing simple products. You produce simple products, you get low wages. You produce a pair of slippers, you sell a pair of slippers, flip-flops, for £5. You produce an electronic component, you take the same amount of time to do that, you make 500 pounds. So the challenge that we have as a nation is to move from producing simple products to complex products. From simple services to complex services. From slippers to auto parts. From call centers to software products. That is the challenge that you have. And that is what we need to understand. Not to forward memes with high heels and said, Harsha Silva said, this is a developed country because most of our young women wear high heels. That's nonsense, and that shows the ignorance of our people. And I don't have much time, so I'm going to give you one example and I'm going to stop. I had the great honor to be at the London Stock Exchange last week at the UK flag and the Sri Lanka flag. Big people were there. The former Lord Mayor of the city was there. The Minister of State for Commonwealth and International Affairs was there. The Minister of State for International Trade was there. Some MPs were there. Big business people were there. Some 170 people paid money to come and listen on investment opportunities of this fast growing, technology savvy, high-tech nation of Sri Lanka. And I almost fell off my chair when the lady who was running the HR at the London Stock Exchange group said, do you know that your technology not only runs this great stock exchange of the world in London, but 40 other exchanges around the world. Do you know that it is out of Sri Lanka all this comes? And we have the Sri Lankan company which is invested into by the London Stock Exchange Group, which now actually they own, runs a production house here producing complex products. And the engine, the matching engine, completed 8 trillion US dollars of transactions. That is what this country is about. Our country is about that level of intellectual capacity and the ability, the innate possibilities that we have as Sri Lankans. And that's where we have to go. And that is why fundamentally, to do anything in this country, we have to create peace, friendship, and build bridges among communities, among folks who believe in different religious beliefs. And on that foundation, we must build a country that reflects our people. No longer a third world, low income country called Sri Lanka, but already a fast growing, technology savvy, high services producing, upper middle income country of Sri Lanka. And in that journey, you have a big role to play. English education, early childhood development, leisure and the tourism field are critically important in creating that ecosystem so that this nation will progress from where we were to what we aim to go. That was not a political speech. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.